Hey, and welcome to the Ambitious Bookkeeper Podcast. I'm Serena Shoup. I am a CPA and mom of 3, and I'm running a virtual bookkeeping business mostly from my home. You're in the right place if you're a bookkeeper, accountant, or an accounting student, and you know that your purpose is bigger than sitting in a cubicle. If you're ready to learn some actionable tips and strategies to help you start and grow a bookkeeping or accounting business, I hope you stick around. Welcome back, Liz, to the Ambitious Bookkeeper Podcast. I'm so excited to have you. We are in year 2, basically. By the time this airs, we will have hit our 1 year in podcasting, and you were one of our very first guests. So welcome back. So excited to have you.
Oh my gosh, congratulations on 1 year. That's so awesome. And thanks for having me back. This is so fun.
Yeah, we will link the first episode we did together in the show notes. And I think we kind of talked about how to get started in email marketing. So if you are completely unfamiliar with email marketing, definitely tune back to that episode, but listen to this one still. But let's do a brief, reintroducing you to our audience. So I'll let you do this spiel.
Yeah, what up? I'm Liz Wilcox. And if you haven't guessed yet, I'm an email marketer. So I teach people how to make email really simple. And one of the reasons that I wanted to come back on the show is because I know there's a lot of fear, especially with bookkeepers, around actually writing emails that sound like you, right? And I know maybe you spend a lot of time in spreadsheets and it's hard to kind of get out of that, very logical, what's the word? I'm thinking of brevity, but that's not it. Just keeping it really short and simple and thinking people don't want to get to know you. They just need to know their numbers. But I wanted to come back and talk about that. A little of my background, I started off as an RV travel blogger. I got really good at email marketing through that. And so good that people said, oh, wow, what are you doing talking about RVs? You need to be talking about what you're doing with email. So, fast forward, now I'm talking to you and Sharina. Oh my God. I was trying to combine your last, I was like, don't mess up her last name. So I just messed up the whole shebang. But okay. That's me. What's up? I swear this is just water.
That's okay. I can't tell you how many times I just botch stuff, and it's okay though. I think that, maybe I'm speaking for other people, but I like it when people just screw up and they're just like, yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter.
It's a good segue into, what we're going to talk about today is people love that behind the scenes stuff, especially, we're living in this world where people are content creators, right? Especially in the last couple of years since quarantine, everybody and their mom is on TikTok and, it's never perfect and people are, we're coming very much out of this, everything's got to be perfect and polished. And I think it might even be a relief to bookkeepers because, of course, we want our numbers to be perfect and they need to be spot on as much as we have that information. But you can give yourself permission to mess up the host's name or have a typo in your email. As long as you're doing good in the bookkeeping, people want to see you as a real person.
Yeah. I have done a lot of work on perfectionism and from just my whole corporate career and everything. And then going out on my own and trying to model after these really polished people online. I will name no names, but we all have seen them where it's I could never do that because I could never be that polished. Some of them are so polished that they sound scripted, but they're not and that's very intimidating. So I hope that people read my emails and watch me online and realize it's okay to be awkward.
Oh gosh. Yeah. I have a friend, she calls herself the cringy mom and she has this movement called cringe forward. Shout out to Jen Campbell. And it's just so awesome watching her because no offense, I love her. She's my friend, but there are some things she puts out there. I'm like, wow, that's really cringe, but then she just was like, yeah, I'm cringe. I tried too hard. Here I am. Like, y'all just go for it too. And I think it's definitely awesome that we are living in this day and age where, we can be a little cringe, a little less polished, and let it be inspiration to you. Serena and I both make money being ourselves, being our awkward, typo, mispronounce selves.
Yeah, absolutely. I've gotten, it's funny. I get some heat too. And I don't know if you do or if it's just my audience, but when I have typos in my emails, I've gotten replies and like, it's funny. I always just laugh about it. That's something that definitely would have upset me a long time ago. And then I would have been afraid to continue to put myself out there. But that is one of the things that you definitely have to be prepared for and work on yourself internally and like be okay with it. And otherwise, something like that is just going to derail all of your efforts.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. I mean, you got into business for yourself, right? You started this bookkeeping thing, I don't want to work for corporate, I want to sit at home. I want to do it my way. Mm-hmm. So do it your way. And yeah, you might have typos and people, oh gosh, I won't get in. It's too rated R to get into some of the things people have replied back, commented, whatever, right? For me, it's just keeping centered in the fact that I started a business for myself. So I have to be myself and have this sort of abundance mindset that I'm not the only person going into business for myself. We are, it's unprecedented the amount of people that are going into business for themselves. So there are plenty of fish in the sea that are going to hire me, right? If this person comes back and they're upset about a typo and they think, if they can't even spell that right, what are they going to do for my numbers? Like, they're not for you, right? Mm-hmm. You know your stuff. You are educated, certified, all that. And there's a reason why you didn't go into English. Okay. It's totally different. And the right people will know that. And I think even we're moving into this new market where not only are people accepting and tolerating of those mistakes, like the market is kind of demanding it. I listened to a podcast episode because you guys geek out on bookkeeping and things like that. I geek out on email. And this guy was saying, this is a guy that works with giant retail companies, people that send out millions of emails a month. And he said, I'm seeing if you don't email with a little bit of personality, if you act like nothing in the real world is happening and it's always business as usual, there's no personality in your emails, like, you are losing right now. And he's talking about gigantic retailers. So the little guy, people like you and me, if we've got a couple dozen people on our email list, we're at a real advantage to say like, hey, I'm a real person. You can actually hit reply, get to know me, ask me questions. I'm the one answering. This isn't like, I know your love of QuickBooks, right? But this isn't QuickBooks, right? Where it's like, obviously someone, a 24/7 customer service who is going to give you the runaround. Like, this is me. This is Liz Wilcox in the inbox. I'm going to be the one replying. And that's a huge, huge, huge advantage right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So what is one of the biggest things? Because I know you have a email marketing membership where you write weekly templates for us so that we don't have to come up with all of our own ideas. To send out emails. And you do have quite a few bookkeepers in there. And so before we hit record, you were talking about this being probably one of the hardest things for this type of personality, the bookkeeper, the accountant, was just being yourself and being okay with that. So how do you help people get over that hurdle?
I emailed Serena because there were just so many bookkeepers coming at me like, oh, people expect me to be this way and I've got to be polished. I'm thinking of, some kind of like 80s executive, like this is the image in your mind that you have to be. And I've just seen so many people like Serena, like even my bookkeeper, when they've loosened up a little bit and shown a little bit of their personal lives or personality, just how different their business becomes, just how better they feel connected, not only to their email list, but to their clients as well, the people on their list that are already, booking with them. And so I just wanted to come on and kind of wax poetic about, try to convince you to show a little bit of personality. So I always say in your emails and in any correspondence, really, if you can lead with a little bit of personality, your vision for your clients or your potential clients, and your value system, it's going to change the game for you. And think about it. When you are hiring someone, when you are looking at a brand, how many times do you go straight to reviews? Even on Amazon. Amazon spends a lot of money trying to get you to write reviews because they know consumers, they're looking at a product, they're scrolling. I'm doing the finger thing right now. They're scrolling directly down and they want to see if the product is any good and a little bit of the personalities of the different people buying. If you don't believe the testimonials or the reviews, you believe they're fake. And so again, we're living in a market that demands all three of these things. So with your personality, this is not like, oh, Liz, I'm an introvert. This is why I got into numbers, so I wouldn't have to talk to anybody. Nobody's knocking on the office unless there's an emergency. I don't mean you have to share everything with people, but there are little bits of your personality that you can connect to other people, like just human to human, right? There's 1,000,001 email marketers out there. But Serena's had me on twice. Why? Probably because she likes me as a human. Mm-hmm. There's something about me that's like, oh yeah, she's the one for me. And so if you're willing to put a little bit of yourself out there, then, you're going to pick up the right people and you're not going to have those crazy clients, right? Those people, it's like, oh, I dread it when they email me, or, oh, I hate getting on the phone with this person. I got off the phone. And I think we talked about this in episode 13 about how much I love my bookkeeper. Mm-hmm. I got off the phone with her a couple of weeks ago. And no joke, I couldn't even help myself. I just wasn't thinking. I was like, okay, I love you. Bye. And she was like, I immediately got red. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, is that crossing a boundary? She was like, no, Liz, I love you too. Thanks so much. Like, peace out or whatever. But she loves to work with me because, she knows who I am as a person. And I love to work with her because I know her as a person. And so just drawing out a little bit of that person in you is going to go a long way. And I'll give you a couple tips on this. So these tips are related to, like, if you're thinking, yeah, but I don't know, I'm boring, or what do I share? I'm scared to share anything. I'm a private person. Like, you can Google me and you would never guess I'm a private person, but I actually am. There's a lot of things you don't know about Liz. So you can draw from two things, really very, very simple things that are going to make human connections, that are going to show you're a person and show a little bit of what kind of person you are. So number one, you can draw from pop culture. So obviously, again, if you Google me, you'll see that I do this a lot. People call me the Fresh Princess of Email. I've got NSYNC in the background right now. Usually I'm not wearing it today, but usually I got my Seinfeld hat on, NSYNC earrings or something like that. I draw from a lot of music inspiration, and people love that. People will be texting me or DMing me, oh my gosh, I just heard Backstreet Boys on the radio, or, oh my gosh, I saw this commercial that had MC Hammer. It reminded me of you. That has nothing to do with email, right? But it makes me a human, and the right human.
Memorable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like I'm going to interject for a minute. We just recently had in town, there was a block party that was like a 90s block party, and you were supposed to dress up in 90s. They had a DJ playing all 90s music, and I was literally thinking of you the entire time.
See, that's how powerful the pop culture piece is. And it doesn't have to be music. It doesn't have to be a decade. It can even be like, the only example I can think of right now is the Sham Wow, right? Like, do you guys remember that? It's from like, I don't know, like 2008 or something. And it can be like, if you still use a Sham Wow, that is a personal thing. If you've got kids, even just saying like, oh, I'm picking up my kids from school today, just very simple person things. And then the second thing, if you can't think of anything in pop culture, that's not really jiving with you. And this one, you're going to kind of roll your eyes at because everyone does this one, but it's so easy and so simple. A beverage, pick a beverage. Like if you drink coffee, if you're Dunkin' Donut, hashtag team Dunkin' Donuts over Starbucks or, McCaf. Or for me, I drink Mountain Dew like a 12-year-old boy interested in motocross. Okay. Just riding through the desert, and that's something that is very easy for me. And that reveals almost nothing about me, but it's something, Serena immediately started laughing. You either think, oh, that's funny, or, oh my gosh, she's going to kill herself. I need to email her right now to tell her to stop drinking that, cancerous drink, right? I get more replies whenever I talk about Mountain Dew than anything else. People are either like, oh, I love that. Or especially if I have people in different countries, they're like, that is quite literally illegal where I live. Like, stop drinking it right now. But it's just something that's so simple, and starting off very simple, like a beverage or, something in pop culture, a band that you like, something like that. It helps just get you started. Of course, I prefaced everything I said, personality. Obviously, I don't think Mountain Dew is part of my personality, but it is part of who I am. And it's a very simple way to start being a human in my business. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm like over here thinking, I'm like, I wonder what people think of, like, if there's anything in pop culture that makes them think of me. So I'm like, what could that be?
You know what makes me think of Serena? So I don't know if you guys have ever been on a Zoom call with her, watched any of her videos or anything, but she has this beautiful, like, blue painting behind her. And anytime I see something like that, I think of her because it's just so memorable. Like Serena said, it's so memorable. And it's just this background thing, but I've been hanging out with her on Zoom for like 2 years. And so if I go to, if I'm walking through like TJ Maxx and I see anything with that like dark blue and kind of light blue together, or I don't know what kind of painting that is. What do they call it? With the big wide strokes? When I see that, I think of you.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's not pop culture, but
it's not, but it doesn't matter. I definitely, like, the colors are on brand and it just kind of worked out. And I mean, like, I have a blue phone case. I have like, I have a blue car. I have a blue water bottle.
There you go. See, and it can be just that simple when you start off in your business, trying to be relatable, trying to, when you hear somebody like me, oh, just show your personality, and you see them and they're like, wearing this outrageous thing. You're like, well, I can't be like that. You can start very small with maybe just a color, or maybe I see Serena's nails are painted. Maybe you get your nails painted every single week. And so you just kind of inject that into your brand until you figure out what the heck you really want to be, right? Just pick something very, very simple and run with it.
We'll be back after a quick break.
This episode of the Ambitious Bookkeeper Podcast is sponsored by my brand new free training, The Ultimate Guide to Creating a Profitable Bookkeeping Business. In just 1 hour, you will learn 3 keys to creating and launching a profitable bookkeeping business. We will map out your path to creating a bookkeeping or accounting business that keeps you in control of your time, priorities, and expertise. From someone who built a 6-figure firm on part-time hours. That's right, you can stay in control of your time, keep family as your priority, and serve your clients well. It just takes a little strategy up front, and I'm going to help you with that during this free training. So head over to the show notes to sign up now for the next training and find out how you can choose the work you do, kick imposter syndrome to the curb, use tech to be super efficient, which all leads to a profitable business. Just head on over to ambitiousbookkeeper.com/training, and I will see you there. I like that. So pop culture and a beverage are your first 2 tips for personality.
Yeah. So I said personality, vision, and values. So the next one is making sure in emails and really everywhere you market to share your vision with your clients. Not every bookkeeper is the same. And not every client is the same. I think of it like this. So let's say you're graduating from Liz Wilcox University, and like, what is the degree that I'm handing you when you walk across the stage? For me, it's you make money with email marketing, like simple as that. That's the diploma, that's the degree. So that's my vision for you. And so in emails, I'm constantly talking about you making money with email because that's my vision for you. Saying things very explicit, very direct. I want you to make money with email. I created this product so you make money with email. With bookkeeping, I want you to know your numbers. Serena, help me out here. It's the end of the day, folks. What would be your vision?
For my clients, it's like, it is pretty much like that. Like, we want to help you understand your numbers so that you can make better decisions and be more profitable or get more time back. Like, you know what I mean? Whatever it is for your clients, and most clients need that and want that, but you can spin it however you want. You can spin it toward like what their industry is and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I love that. And it's be direct and say this over and over. If you're not saying this at least once a month, people aren't going to remember. They've got TikTok nowadays. They're not paying that much attention, but it's going to set you apart, especially in email. If you're sending out sales messages or newsletters, people are savvy. They're like, oh, this lady's trying to get me to book, right? This lady just wants to get me on a call, da, da, da. But if you tell them the vision, then they don't think that anymore. Oh, this person really cares about me, staying in my zone of genius so my business can grow and I can save time, because you've told them explicitly that's what you want. If I just showed up in my inbox and showed up on social media, just constantly selling and not talking about my person, always talking about my products, what do they think the vision is? That I want to make money. Mm-hmm. And of course that is true. I want to make money. Serena wants to make money. You got to eat, and that's fine. Yeah. But when you share the bigger vision of things, people want to get on board. This is not Forrest Gump. You've seen that movie, right? Mm-hmm. Again, pop culture reference. So, Forrest, he's running through and, running in the desert and he's got all those people behind him, right? And then he just stops and he's like, well, I think I'll go home now. And everybody's like, they look confused, but they're not mad. But that's not real life. That's a movie. No one is going to just blindly follow along with you. They're going to make their own assumptions and they're going to fall off if you don't tell them exactly where you're running to, where you're going. So definitely don't be afraid of sharing that vision for your clients, with your clients and your potentials all the time. Again, that's going to show a little bit of your personality too. Like, wow, this person's taking this seriously. They're not just out there to sell their services. They have a point to all this. And that's going to make you stand out, hot beverage, Mountain Dew or not, just having that vision, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I love that.
All right. So then values is the last piece. And give me a second. I'm on a roll here. I got to drink some more water, friends.
No worries.
And I keep you can't see me, but I've got my mic stacked up. So, cause I just moved and I don't have one of those arm thingies, and I'm trying to drink water, trying to hydrate, trying to be a good person to myself. And I keep moving the water bottle around the mic, like a claw machine. So it doesn't hit the mic or, make noise. So if you hear little waves in the background, that's not the ocean. It's my water bottle. Okay. So we went through a little bit of personality, the vision for people, and then your values. And Serena and I talked about this at the top of the hour, but just, living in a day and age where you can be yourself and where you can share what it is you believe in. Now, this isn't spewing your politics everywhere and constantly commenting on, current events. No, that's tiring. Again, go to TikTok. Yeah. But you can share what you believe in, especially in regards to your product, your services, your industry. So for me, in email, a lot of people will tell you to tell stories. I personally don't believe in that. And so I'm constantly telling them what I do believe in. I do believe in saving time, leading with the personality, vision, and values, other things. You can listen to episode 13. I go way more into that. but you've got to have a value system. There are certain things within you, and this one might take you a while. It might take a lot of practice of getting comfortable with email and marketing and just being in business for yourself until you're like, oh yeah, this is why I do things the way I do, right? For me, I price most of my products pretty low because I believe in affordability. That took me 5 years to figure out. So if you're not like, wow, I don't have anything like that yet. I don't know. Don't stress. This one, I want you to just put a pin in it. And when you do something, or especially when you get on a sales call and you immediately know, oh my gosh, this person is not for me. What's that, like TikTok audio? Like, immediately know. I've seen what I need to see. Immediately know. Like, we've all been on that call. There's something in your value set that is telling you, no, don't book this person. It's not worth the time, the energy, the money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So take note of that and start talking about that. Like, I want to work with clients that, won't reject me for my typos. That's number one, showing your values, that, and a little bit of personality, right? So saying, I value numbers over grammar, even something simple as that. And that's going to let the right people in that are like, oh yeah, actually, I really don't care if you can't spell, as long as you can run my numbers, right? Or whatever it is. Even I joked about it earlier. I can't remember what Serena recommends, but I know it's not QuickBooks. Even it's like zero. I was like, it's not Xerox, Liz. That's something completely different from the 90s. But, if it's easier to start with that, like, what companies do you value? What processes do you value? And just saying those is going to really help the right people. Like, oh yeah, I hate QuickBooks too. I tried that. It was so confusing. And they might not ever log into Xero, but they know that you've got something better, and that's going to jive with them immediately. So sharing different value sets is really important as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't even realize that was like, now that you're talking about it, I'm like, yeah, that's a thing. I've talked about on sales calls with people. I'm like, sometimes I'm kind of like hesitant. I'm like, I hope you don't mind, but like, we don't use QuickBooks, so we will migrate you. And they're like, oh, I freaking hate QuickBooks. It's so confusing. As a business owner trying to DIY things. So it's like, it works for some people. It doesn't work for others. But yeah, I didn't even realize that could be one of them.
Yeah. And for me, on a call with a bookkeeper, just from that customer perspective, I don't care what you use, but I love that you have a stand on something. That means you really know your stuff. If you're like, oh yeah, I can do this, and maybe I can go over here too, and whatever you're using is fine, I'll just adjust. That is like, well, what are you an expert in? Right? I don't know. And so for me, if I'm on a call with you and you're like, oh, yep, I love QuickBooks, that's what we use. I don't know what you use, but we'll be migrating you. Or the opposite, like, oh my gosh, we got to get this fixed right now. That makes me like, that signals to me like, oh, she's really strong and firm. She must know what she's talking about. Yeah. Right. So not being afraid to stay firm in those things is actually really valuable for your potential customers.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up, because that's a question I get a lot from other bookkeepers. They're like, do you ever get pushback? And I'm like, I don't. I thought I would. Like, and I'm, I'm nice about it. I'm not like, you're on our system or you're out of here type of thing. It's more of like, these are the systems we use. If you're okay with that, we're going to migrate you. Otherwise, I can refer you to somebody else type of situation. But yeah, I don't ever get pushback. People are more than happy to migrate over. Cause like you said, most of our clients don't log into their books either, but they want to just know that they're done and they're done right.
Yeah. Amen. And for me, I hired my bookkeeper, and she took one look at what I was doing or not doing. She was like, we're just starting over you need a whole new bank account, and because I knew she knew what she was doing, and I knew a little bit of her personality, right? Like, I knew she was a real human. It wasn't this big giant, not that there's anything wrong with, giant companies, but I knew she had my best interests at heart because I knew her as a person. I knew where we were going together, and, I knew her values, right? I was like, okay, whatever. I mean, I was in tears trying to set up that bank account, but I was like, if Angelica tells me this is what I need, then I am not leaving this bank until somebody gives me an account. Let's go. But that's the power that you have as this type of service provider is, whether you're working with new entrepreneurs or seasoned or whoever, we really got to get our book straight. And so we really want to know we are in good hands. So leading with that personality, vision, and values is going to make us feel so much firmer. And so it's going to get you more of those sales calls, those discovery calls, those bookings, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. And more clients that are confident in you. So yeah, sometimes you have to fake the confidence a little bit to get the clients that are confident. See, I can't even talk. It's a tongue twister.
She's doing a great job, isn't she? Let's leave her a 5-star review today. Pause the episode, go in, leave her a review. We love Serena. She's amazing. If I could turn my sound effects on, I'd give you a round of applause. But just know everyone listening right now is pulled over in their car, stop doing the dishes, and we're all giving you a round of applause, my dear.
Awesome. So yeah, let's recap. The personality, the vision for your clients, where you're headed with your business, and the values. It seems pretty simple, right?
I think so. Thanks. Thanks, Serena. Yeah.
Simple, not easy.
Yeah. And it's not easy, but it gets easier over time. You just have to get started and, pick one. For me, I think probably the vision that you have is probably the easiest to start with. If you're one of those people that's like, oh, I don't know how to present online, or I don't know what my value set is. You do know what you want for your clients. And if you don't, again, pause, take 5 minutes. I know you can figure this one out. Like, oh, Serena, shoot, did I get it right? I think so. She, we're crossing her line. This is what we're doing. We have our own bookkeeping business, right? That's profitable. Like, that's the degree. What is the degree for your people? And start sharing that online. Send out, if you have a client list right now or some kind of email list already, send out, hey, I just wanted to share my vision for the clients that I work with today. And it can be just a, 2-minute write, hey, I want to make sure anyone that works with me feels confident in their bookkeeper, saves time, and every quarter where they're at financially so they can make the best steps for moving forward in their business or whatever. See, even I know part of your vision. You can do this. I believe in you so wholeheartedly. And just sending out an email like that, sharing it on social media, something like that, that's really going to start to connect with people. And somebody might reply, wow, that's so awesome. I really want that. Or even if they don't reply, they are going to read it and that's going to stick out to them. Oh, wow, this person, it's not just about getting the check, right? This person has a vision for me. That's awesome, right? So start with the vision. And then you can start to add little bits of your personality. And I definitely would go check out episode 13 because I talk a lot more about very tactical what to put in those emails. But yeah, starting out with the vision, adding in a little bit of personality, adding in, your values. Like maybe there's an email in there where it's why I pick Xero over QuickBooks, and you just kind of wax poetic, or, 5 things I love about working with this type of person, whoever your ideal client is. Those are value sets. I value people that love in sync. If you're a Backstreet Boys fan, we might not get on a Zoom call together. That's a little joke. That's a little OO's humor for you. Things like that. Just being very direct in your email marketing and any type of marketing is really, really going to help you out in the future.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So, in addition to going back to that other episode, you, like I mentioned before, have an email marketing membership. And when this episode goes live, you will be about to be going into your annual flash sale to join it. So do you want to talk about that?
Oh, thanks. Heck yeah, I want to talk about it. It's my favorite thing. And let that be a lesson. Maybe that's some inspiration for you listening. Be excited, create offers and packages that excite you to talk about. It's not like a dread thing. I always create products and price at prices and products that delight me that I'm excited to talk about. So that's a little Liz Wilcox on her soapbox side note there. So anyway, email marketing membership is a $9 a month membership where I literally write newsletters for you every single week, every single Monday. You get a template delivered directly to your inbox. Serena is one of the original members. Shout out to her. Yes. Yes, baby. And what I love about it is it's just this affordable thing where you can actually just get in and try out email. So one of the visions I have for people, potential people that aren't in my universe yet, are I just want you to try email, right? And so I created this product to get you like, it's like, how can I get people to try this? It's like, well, I'll just write it for you. And what's great about the templates is I leave out the personality, the vision, and the values. They are quite literally where it's like, today was insert the type of day here. Like it's very actual. It's not a swipe that, I wrote for my business and you hope and pray you can figure out why I wrote it the way I wrote it and how to apply it. It's an actual template. And what I love about opening up this annual sale, if you become a yearly pass holder, you get access for an entire year to the membership. So that's, 52 new templates delivered every single week to you. But you also get access to every single product that I've ever created or that I will create for the next year for free. So think of it like Costco. We have all been to Costco, right? You pay like $60 and then you get in and you buy everything. They sell almost everything at wholesale. So that's kind of the business model there. You get in, you pay the membership fee and you get everything for free. So it's $108. It's only open July 11th and 12th. Serena in the comments is going to put her link to the wait list so you can get on the wait list. So it'll be open for just 48 hours. I'm really excited to offer this again. Like I said, my vision is that you just make money with email marketing. Like that's the direction I'm going with you. And so with the yearly pass holders, not only do they get those newsletters, you're going to get everything else, like what am I trying to say? There's a lot,
There's a lot of
how
resources.
how to build community with email, how to, keep your email list healthy so you actually land in the inbox versus spam. Ding, ding, ding. You really want that one. Sales emails, templates,
Flash
list
sale
building.
templates.
Yes, flash sale templates, how to list build if that's a problem of yours. Lots of different other products. I also, for pass holders, do like launch debriefs so you can see behind the scenes of my business. And I'm trying to think, I'm doing a summit this year, so you'll get that for free. You will not have to pay anything to attend or to get the recordings. I'm looking over here. You're going to hear a big giant piece of paper right now. Sorry. Oh, Black Friday training. You're going to get a Black Friday training and Black Friday emails, things like that. And this is directed towards not only just, B2B to B2B, that type of like online space. I have all sorts of people. Serena already said, there are other bookkeepers in there. So I try to make it so not only does it work for people with digital products, but it definitely works for service providers too, and bookkeepers. I always keep my bookkeepers in mind because I know I've got lots of them.
Awesome.
So that's my spiel. $108. Get on the wait list. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. And I want to add, even though you have a bunch of bookkeepers in there, like you are not approaching it from, and maybe this is a good or bad thing, but like there's a lot of like marketing agencies and things out there that are specifically helping bookkeepers, but they're all kind of like doing things the same old boring way. You're not going to get that from Liz. Like you're going to really learn how to show your own personality and stand out from other bookkeepers so that you are attracting the right clients and all that kind of stuff. So if you're worried about your stuff sounding and looking like everybody else's, it won't. Even if you're all using the same template, it will not sound and look like everybody else's, like maybe those other marketing agencies would if they're writing the same stuff for you and all their other clients. Right?
Oh, wow. That's so nice. Yeah, thank you. I work really hard to give you examples. So along with the template, you'll also get 2 kind of A+ examples that are written in different ways. So sometimes I'll say, this is for someone that is very familiar with their list. And, other times this is for someone who is like terrified of sending emails, or this is for a service provider, this is for an e-commerce brand. And even just like Serena said, like being around that and seeing those examples really helps you get a grip on why you would send an email like this, what the marketing behind it, the strategy behind it, things like that. And I also do a video walkthrough with every single template. It's usually about 3 to 5 minutes, a lot shorter than this podcast. So if you've listened this long, you're going to love them. Yeah. And it really gives the why behind the email. So you can really actually, I don't want you to just blindly is the correct
blindly
word,
and mindlessly.
Yeah, amen. Oh, dang, Serena is my hype man. I need her more in my life. Blindly just send out what I tell you. I want you to always be using discernment and, thinking like, does this feel good for me? And so the video walkthrough and the other examples really give you a much bigger picture of the email. So especially after a year in the membership, you're really going to understand email marketing and all that we talked about today, that personality, vision, and values. You're really going to firm that up. And plus, it's super fun. I know most people are like, oh, it's boring or it's too hard, Liz. So I was like, well, how can I make this fun for people? Because I know it's going to make them money, but I've got to convince them that it's fun first, because most people think it's not. So it's really quite a fun time. I mean, our Facebook group is called The Sound Booth. So you can imagine how much fun we're having in there.
Yeah. Awesome. Maybe we should brainstorm ways to make people think that bookkeeping is fun. If you're able to make email marketing fun.
Yeah. So as bookkeepers, we understand trying to convince people like, oh, this is the thing you need, when there's so many other fun and sexier things. Like that's kind of what I've done with the email. So I'll get back to you on making bookkeeping sexy. Maybe we'll call Justin Timberlake. He's been known to bring sexy back.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Liz, for coming on here again. And just one last time, or I don't know if you even said it, but where can people connect with you online? Where's the best place?
Oh, yeah. I was so excited about the membership. Yeah. So if you're like, oh, I don't know about the membership, or I want to see more of, your style, Liz, you can just go directly to lizwilcox.com. In the top right-hand corner, you're going to see a hot pink button. It says free email swipes. It's going to give you an entire welcome sequence written for you for free. And actually, it gives you 3 newsletter examples. I just updated this the day of this recording that are actually taken directly from the membership. So you can see that style completely for free. And technically, you get 3 templates completely for free. And then if that's not enough, you also get 52 subject lines. Again, that's at lizwilcox.com, the top right-hand corner button.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, I can't wait to have you on again next year.
Awesome. We'll make it an anniversary present. Yeah. I'm Serena's anniversary present. Awesome. I've dubbed myself.
Well, thank you again, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you to everyone who helps make this podcast possible. Content and interviews are produced by me, Serena Shoup. Our intro and outro music is written and performed by my brother, Ian Gilliam. Editing is also by Ian using his awesome sound engineering skills along with Descript software. Hosting and publishing is by Buzzsprout, and you can check out the show notes for links to all of these amazing resources and resources mentioned in the episode.
Be ambitious.